ẹ káàárọ̀ ní gbogbo bí tẹ́ ti ń gbọ́ wa ṣe dáadáa la tún bá yín Yemi Sonde live on Splash 105.5 FM apá bíi láti máa ń mú ní ti ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú ní lọ́rọ̀ tí amúlòdùn ní ọ̀rọ̀ tí ààbò ní tí ọ̀gbìn àbí ọ̀sìn àtàwọn ogun tí ó ṣe wá láǹfààní láwọn ìgbà míì a máa gbé àwọn tí wọ́n ti làlùyọ àbí tí wọ́n ti ṣe àṣeyọrí àbí tí wọ́n jẹ́ ògbóǹtarìgì nínú ìlànà tí wọ́n bá ń tọ̀ a máa ń gbé wọn wá láti fọ̀rọ̀ wọn lẹ́nu wò láti lè jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí atọ́ni fún àwọn tó ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn àbí ká lè kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nínú àwọn ìrírí wọn fún àwa tí a wà lẹ́nu ẹ̀ náà tí à ń ṣerú tí wọ́n ṣe ta ká lè kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ká lè mọ ibi tá gbẹ́sẹ̀ sí ká lè rin àrìnyè ní ìrìn wa ẹ káàárọ̀ tàárọ̀ yóò ní yàtọ̀ síbẹ̀ Yemi Sonde lórúkọ tèmi Desmond to the G wà ń bí tó ń bá wa tẹ̀ òun lójókòó tẹpọ́n sápà bẹ́ẹ̀ Progress Man Media grapher wa Dàmọ́lá Ológunfẹ́ wà ń bẹ̀ internal producer àwọn Elizabeth Copper àwọn náà wà ń bẹ̀ tí wọ́n ń wò àbí youth call ní kádẹ́ pé wọ́n youth call member àwọn àlejò mi ti wà ń kalẹ̀ dáadáa a lọ a bọ̀ a fẹ́ a sì yọ kọ̀rẹ́ ti ibẹ̀ jáde ọ̀rọ̀ ara wa la fẹ́ sọ láàárọ̀ yìí o ọ̀rọ̀ iṣẹ́ wa la fẹ́ sọ láàárọ̀ yìí ọ̀rọ̀ aráàlú la fẹ́ sọ láàárọ̀ yìí ọ̀rọ̀ ohun tó ń mú ìlú dúró Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ kí ìlú ó dàrú ohun tó ń jẹ́ kí ìlú ó jẹ́ ìlú tí ò jẹ́ kí tiwa ó di sí ohun tó ń lọ nílùú tó sì ń jẹ́ ká mọ ibi tó yẹ ká máa rìn sí àti gbogbo bó ṣe yẹ ká máa gbé ìgbésí ayé wa ohun tí a lè ṣe láti má bá ṣe ọ̀rẹ́ ni torí pé àwa náà ọ̀rẹ́ yín ni wá ẹ̀yin gangan torí yín ni irú wa ṣe ń wà lápá bí torí pé ẹgbọ́n jù wá lọ la ṣe máa ń fọ̀rọ̀ ọlọ́yin pé kẹ́ ẹ tọ́ wa sọ́nà torí pé Ọlọ́run bá mi fún yín lóye ju àwa tá a wà lápá bí lọ ńlá ṣe máa ń fẹ́ jẹ́ nù mọ́ àtòye yín o àwọn àgbà nínú iṣẹ́ tí à ń ṣe yìí tó jẹ́ àwọn àgbà sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n ti pẹ́ ń bẹ̀ ọ̀gá náà jẹ́ sírò wa yìí àwọn ọ̀gá wa la fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀ láàrin afẹ́ mu nínú omi ọgbọ́n wọn ni o tí n bá dé ibi tó yẹ kí n ti fi wọ́n hàn kẹ́ gbóhùn wọn á sì sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ Yorùbá àti òyìnbó gẹ́gẹ́ bá a ṣe máa ń ṣe náà láàsọ láàárọ̀ yìí wọ́n ti wà ń kalẹ̀ mo sì mọ̀ ká ẹ̀ gbádùn ẹ̀ gan ọ̀rọ̀ àgbà síbi á lọ síbi á lọ sọ́hùn á sì yọ ohun tó yẹ ká yọ ń bẹ̀ àwa tá à ń ṣiṣẹ́ iṣẹ́ rédíò àti tẹlifíṣọ̀n èmi rò wípé ayé irú ètò àárọ̀ yìí tí ń bá wà nílé ni màá rìkọ́ọ̀dù ẹ̀ ni kì í ṣe nítorí òun Yemi Sonde o nítorí àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ tí mo fẹ́ kọ́ lára àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n méjì tí mo gbé wáyé torí pé mi náà fẹ́ kọ́ lára wọn ni tí n bá jẹ́ ni tó wà nílé tó ń gbọ́ ètò yìí láàárọ̀ yìí nínú àbí tá a wà lọ́nà màá tètè ya pé ìyàwó mi ìyá àfẹ́jọba rìkọ́ọ̀dù prógámù yẹn torí màá fẹ́ tún gbọ́ ṣáà ni ó jẹ́ ohun tí màá fẹ́ yọ nǹkan kan bẹ̀ ẹ káàárọ̀. This is YS Live. Yes, this is a program where we have different areas we can actually touch: politics, entertainment, security, economy, agriculture, sometimes sports and personality interview. But this morning we're going to look at not just personality interview but profession, broadcasting as a profession. We want to actually touch into, dig deep into what broadcasting is all about and why is broadcasting so important to my life. Audience, that's viewers and listeners at home, why is it that you cannot do without radio and TV? Now we have social media platform added to that. Digitization has come in. In those years it was radio vision. Now we have digitization and it's evolving. It keeps evolving. And the social media platform, we have different pages on the social media where even a non-broadcaster has turned to a broadcaster now. Fake news everywhere and all that. We look into that. We look at so many sources of information. Radio and TV had been the two sources of information from time immemorial. And of course, anything that comes out of radio or TV is authentic. So we used to believe. But now what we have, even radio and TV pick their information from the social media, whether right or wrong. We have to say the truth now. Yes, so it's going to be for and against this morning. What I mean by for and against, we're going to look at where we're faring good, doing it well, and where we are, found wanting. We look at different areas, the importance of communication, the importance of information, the importance of education on radio and, of course, television. What are the cardinal objectives of broadcasting. We look at that. We look at the practitioners themselves. How professional are we? How sensitive are we to our responsibilities? And are we not actually depriving the audience, the public, of what we are supposed to give them? And that is quality broadcasting. So we look at different areas. And of course, I have two veterans in the house. They are my guys. Yes, they have been there before I ever dreamt of coming into broadcasting. And one way or the other, I've learned one or two things from this great gentleman. But I tell you sincerely, we're going to look at it holistically. We're going to digest it. We're going to look at what have been our responsibilities, how strong or how responsible and responsive had we been on our jobs. Yes, this is broadcasting. And we're talking broadcasting this morning. And of course, like I said, there are a lot of sources of information now. Everybody that holds an Android phone, that holds a phone, are turned to a broadcaster. How do I mean? Everybody wants to say something. But a lot of things on the social media are not censored. A lot of information on the social media are not regulated. Broadcasting, the terrestrial and what we have, radio and TV, is regulated by the NBC, National Broadcasting Commission. But how about the social media? I think recently I heard that there would be a a license to be issued to all online radio or TV. How workable is that? So a lot of people have been asking, are we going to shut down all the existing online radio and TV to reapply or apply now? Okay, apply fresh application. Is it going to be regulated as we have on the terrestrial? I think I may put a call through to the zonal director. I didn't tell him this. I'm sure he's listening. I may put a call through to the zonal director of the National Broadcasting Commission if needs be on this program, to ask one or two questions that has to do with regulation, especially on the social media. Yes, we know what the NBC had been doing on the terrestrial, but the digital aspect, the social media especially, how far? I may put a call through to the zonal director. That's Akpan Raphael. For when it has to do with regulation. We talk about regulation, we talk about professionalism, we talk about broadcasting as it is, we talk about content, programs, and what have you. Yes, in broadcasting, content is king. Why is content the king in broadcasting? Why is it referred to as the king? What is content? Yes, how quality is the content? How do you recognize, how do you ascertain that this program or this content, so to speak, has quality or has what it should have as a program, as a content that should be on air? So we look at different issues, we look at different areas, and before then, let me quickly look at what we have just mentioned on what we have as our news headlines for today. 15th day in the month of June 2021. Soyinka says Nigeria may not celebrate another democracy day, except, that's taken from the Tribune. You say, God forbid. Yes, I said so too. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka has warned that the country is on the path of self-destruction and may not celebrate the next democracy day, except President Muhammad Buhari listens to and provides leadership that addresses the agitations and grievances of various groups of Nigerians. Soyinka, who likened the tempo for disintegration in recent time to that witnessed prior to the Civil War, charged President Buhari to have a rethinking that recognizes that the realities of disintegration, destabilization, and insecurity are upon the nation. He described recent interviews and press statements by Buhari as tantamount to threatening, bullying, and intimidating the people, as he called on the president to address the nation like a leader awake to the realities of the situation while being seen to be taking actions. Twitter ban. ECOWAS court to hear motion June 22nd. That's taken from The Nation. Plaintiffs now 421. The Community Court of Justice of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has fixed June 22nd for a hearing on a motion in a suit challenging the federal government's suspension of the operations of the microblogging platform Twitter in Nigeria. I really hope this would be resolved very shortly. Nigerians needs unifying, proactive leaders. Osinbajo, that's taken from the Vanguard. Vice President Yemi Sonde says the current challenges affecting the country require proactive repair to bring Nigerians together. Osinbajo's spokesman, Laolu Akonde, in a statement on Monday in Abuja, said the Vice President expressed this view in Lagos during a courtesy visit to the place of Oniru of Yoruland, Oba Abdulwasiu Lawal. The traditional ruler is celebrating his first coronation anniversary. Osinbajo commended Lawal for being a leader to people of diverse socio-ethnic backgrounds. Our country needs all the leaders, the best leaders, the most proactive leaders, leaders prepared to bring the country together, says Osinbajo. And that's all we have on the news headlines for today. And back to YS Live, our major focus, like I said, is broadcasting in Nigeria. Yesterday, today, and the future. Yes, my producer says radio as a focus. On this program, we're going to widen it and go into television and go on to the social media as well. We will look at different areas there. Yes, broadcasting in Nigeria, yesterday, today, and the future. My guests this morning, I have two guests in the house. Let me read through the short abridged profile that I have of my guests. The first one, I'd like to start with the broadcasters. The broadcaster tó máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ láti inú ẹ̀mí ni mo ti ń sọ̀rọ̀. Lere Shitu is a versatile, passionate, and experienced media icon who started his broadcasting career in the early 80s at the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Ibadan. He later joined Radio OYO, the radio service of Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, in 1990. He started as a presentation officer and rose through the ranks and became the assistant director of programs. He was part of the formidable Sadut with the responsibility of establishing Agility FM 92.1 Gambari Ogbomoso as head of programs in August 2009. Mr. Lere Shitu was later appointed as the station manager of Oluyole FM 98.5 Ibadan in 2014. Mr. Lere Shitu retired from government service in April 2019 and subsequently appointed as a senior contract officer of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State in May 2019. He could only work for 4 months as he was appointed to pilot the establishment of a new radio station, Pensioners FM 106.7, Agbarigo Onireke, Ibadan, as general manager. Mr. Lere Shitu is a multi-talented, thoroughbred professional who is highly gifted in programs design, programs content analysis, media training, and of course translation. He is a very creative broadcaster who has trained notable broadcasters who are really making waves in the industry till today. He holds a master's degree in communication and language arts, University of Ibadan, 2002. Lere Shitu is now a media consultant, a media trainer par excellence, a counseling psychologist, Dr. Ife, a preacher of the word, and a powerful translator. Mido, Lere Shitu. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
It's nice having you.
Well, I'm happy to be here too.
Okay. Thank you so much. Mido. Mo hope ma sọ̀rọ̀ láti inú mi sí báyìí.
If you say Mido, then I reply by saying Jigan Akala.
Jigan náà ni. Àmọ́ ní nǹkan tá a máa ń sọ ká Mido kíní kan tútù. Ká má tún lọ bẹ̀ yẹn.
That was then.
Desmond don't tẹ́tí lẹ̀ pọ̀ jù. Wọ́n ní o gbàgbé yẹn. All right, now my second guest is seated right beside me here. He started his broadcasting career in 1981 at Radio Kwara, Ilorin, as a freelance news reader, and he moved to Radio Nigeria, Ibadan, in 1982 as a duty continuity announcer. He worked with Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, BCOS Radio and Television in 1996, and he became the pioneer head of programs at Radio Nigeria Gold 95.5 FM, Elisha, in 2003. He redeployed to Radio Nigeria Positive 102.5 FM as head of programs in 2007, and he retired as manager programs Radio Nigeria Choice FM Alta in 2017. He took up appointment as pioneer station manager of Bowen University radio station immediately after retirement from Radio Nigeria in 2017 till 2020, March. And now he became the head of academy at Yes Media Academy, Felele, Ibadan, where he is doing wonders. And my second guest that I just read his short profile is no other person than the veteran broadcaster, Kayode Joseph.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm glad to be here. Thank you
very much. And I'm so happy to have the great, two great men here in the broadcast industry. It's an honor. I feel I'm going to interview my people from the other side of the table here this morning. Okay, good morning. Yes, I will go for this short break. When we come back, radio broadcasting and TV, of course, the social media. So let me say broadcasting in Nigeria, yesterday, today, and the future. We come back after this short break.
Try Ariel. Now your clothes will be cleaner than they've ever been. Ariel is worth it. Well, Ariel is worth it. One wash removes 99.9% germs and eliminates tough stains. Well, Ariel is worth it. Oh, yeah, protect your clothes and your family too. You know how much that's worth to you. Yeah. Ariel is worth it. Well, Ariel. Lush hair, let your shine.
Enter the place and it brighten. Make everybody they wonder. Waiting they cause all the shine. Lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better.
Lush hair.
So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. You wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
Nowadays, I keep saying "aww" a whole lot because everyone won't stop surprising me. My hubby does the dishes and prepare the kids for school before I wake. Aww! Even when my daughter makes me a cup of tea with 3 Crowns milk.
Mom, we've got you now and always with the low cholesterol goodness your heart needs to keep the rhythm of the family going. 3 Crowns milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Jídé, ara rẹ̀ sì gbóná síbẹ̀. Kí ló dé tí o kò lọ sílé ìwòsàn?
Ilé ìwòsàn kẹ̀. Mo kà lórí Facebook àti WhatsApp pé tí mo bá po.
Ó kí ni? Ooo, ṣé láyé òde òní ló sì ń gba ìmọ̀ràn nípa ìlera lórí Facebook àti WhatsApp? Má fèmí rẹ̀ wéwu o. Má ṣe gba ìmọ̀ràn nípa ìlera lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí ó lè ṣe ìwádìí bí wọ́n ṣe dé lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára. Àmọ̀ràn yìí wá láti ọwọ́ Africa Check.
When you want buy correct wakis, you go say,
abeg, give me amala 4 rams, gbegiri, ewedu, fufu, shaki, bokoto, abodi.
But when you want buy malaria medicine, you go say,
no be malaria.
Buy malaria drugs the same way where you dey buy your food. Make una dey always ask for Quatem. We also dey for cherry flavor dispensable tablets for children too. Don't gamble with malaria. Choose right. Choose Quatem. If symptoms persist after 3 days, please consult your doctor.
Set to fresh.
I feel the freshness. I got the confidence. With the liquid filled chewing gum, not Santa Fresh. I'm feeling good. I feel so yes, I feel so fresh. I feel so fresh. I got confidence. Santa Fresh. The correct chewing gum, not Santa Fresh. No darling with Santa Fresh.
Santa Fresh chewing gum. Trust the freshness.
Adiko. Àjẹwọlé
ẹ wọlé sí ibà ẹnìkan pé náà lù.
Ee kọ́ńdọ́tọ̀ ikọ̀ yìí le jù o ó yẹ kó lọ sí ilé ìwòsàn.
Tí n bá lọ sí ilé ìwòsàn pẹ̀lú ikọ́ lásìkò yìí pẹ́rẹ́ wọ́n máa rò pé mo ní COVID-19 ni.
Rárá wọn ò ní sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn dókítà ní àfihàn ikọ́ yàtọ̀ sí àìsàn kan sí kejì ikọ́ mi ìgbẹ́ ìmí ìtutù bíi tiẹ̀ yìí.
Mo ti sọ fún kọ̀ǹdọ́tọ̀ mi ikọ́ ẹ̀ tó kọ̀ tí ò kásẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ó lè jẹ́ kọ́ ife.
Kọ̀ǹdọ́tọ̀ yẹ̀ wò kó lè mọ̀ dájú nítorí pé ẹni tí kò bá lọ kò lè mọ̀.
ẹ yẹ ikọ́ yẹn wò fún ikọ́ ife.
ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀rọ ká mọ ohun tí ń ṣe.
tí o bá ní ikọ́ tó ti lo ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì láì kásẹ̀ nílẹ̀ ó lè jẹ́ ikọ́ ife o. ọ̀fẹ́ láyẹ̀wò àti ìtọ́jú ikọ́ ife. fún àlàyé ibi tí o ti lè ṣe àyẹ̀wò ikọ́ ife pé nọ́mbà kan sí orílẹ̀ fún ìtọ́jú ikọ́ ife ní 3340. ìkéde ìwá látọ̀dọ̀ ilé iṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn àwọn ará ìlú Amẹ́ríkà.
too much of familiarity ń gbà mí wàá mọ̀ pé yẹn máa sọ pé torí mo wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ní ṣé máa bá mi sọ tó lè bá ìjà ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn.
àwa obìnrin ni iyọ̀ ayé lójú náà kí adùn yìí lè máa lọ láìlópin ètò yín aládùn ni ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin ó ti gbéra tán lórí ìkànnì yìí ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Thursday ní dédé aago 10:00 òwúrọ̀ kódà lọ́tẹ̀ yìí ó tún máa dùn jù gbọ̀ngbọ̀n akànṣe ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo wa ni. FC Wamco ilé-iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe mílìkì 3 Crowns Milk ló ń ṣe onígbọ̀wọ́ ètò yìí.
Here, Papa Obi. Now wetin dey shake you again like leaf? Chai! Sweater and handkerchief never comot from your hand since I marry you.
Na cold and kata again o.
I don tell you say make you take Procold, but e dey form of big man.
Why Procold, my dear?
Make you no waka miss road o. Procold get paracetamol and phenylephrine for effective relief from cold and catarrh within 20 minutes.
Mama Obi, I dey kampe now.
Na Orange Drugs Limited distribute am. If symptoms never stop after 3 days, make you waka go see your doctor. Procold na better medicine.
Take Procold, take Procold, Procold, take Procold.
Enter the place and it brighten. Make everybody they wonder. Waiting me cause all the shine. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair. So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. You wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A teacher, a pilot, an astronaut.
Kids have big dreams, but a lack of iron in their diet could affect their brain development. That's why one sachet of Cerelac Junior provides 50% of their daily iron needs to help them learn to their full potential and fulfill their dreams.
A musician, an architect.
Cerelac Junior with Iron Plus. It's all good, Mom.
What do you need na safeguard?
Children that like to play.
Them like to play.
Small pigs that must jolly oh.
Them like to jolly oh.
But remember one thing, protect them with safeguard too. Protect them with safeguard. Protect them with safeguard too. From the teen and yama so the future go better.
Safeguard antibacterial soap. They comot every yama for body. E also dey available for 50-gram size.
YS Live.
Yeah, you will come back here. Broadcasting shall influence society positively, setting the agenda for the social, cultural, economic, political, and technological development of a nation for the public good. For the public good. Cardi Joseph, what can you say about this? Broadcasting yesterday, today, and tomorrow. How influential had broadcasting been from time immemorial, from your experience, how positive have we influenced the society? What agenda have we set socially, culturally, economically, politically, and technologically for the public good? What's your own estimate?
For the public good is broadcasting all about since the beginning. And if you trace back to the beginning of broadcasting in Nigeria, you recall that it began with the relay of BBC programs. From there, eventually, Nigerian Broadcasting Service started through the diffusion, and eventually the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation emerged. It was to give the people three key functions of radio: is to inform, to educate, and to entertain the people. Who are you informing? The listener. What are you informing the listener about? Happenings around them. And if people are adequately informed, information is power. If you do not have adequate information, you might be ignorant about a lot of things happening around you. But if you have adequate information, you will not be ignorant. You will know what action to take at any point in time. At the same time, if you have proper education, you know what you are supposed to know at any point in time. Knowledge is also power. And education is all about imparting knowledge. So radio stands to give education to the people, to let them know what is happening, how to handle their day-to-day activities. And then at the same time, to entertain the people, to make them relax at any point in time. So if you look at all these, at the end of the day, it is for public good. If you combine all these things, at the end of the day, you are influencing the listener one way or the other. Somebody that you have informed, somebody that you have educated, somebody that you have also at the same time made to relax through entertainment. You have influenced him or her one way or the other. When he is adequately informed, educated, and entertained. Now, that helps him to know what he's supposed to do at any point in time. If he has a perception about something before, perhaps that perception is wrong. The moment he listens to what the radio is saying, because what I want to let you know is people trust radio a lot. They trust the broadcaster. Whatever you say, they say we had it from radio. And so that gives them peace of mind. They are happy. They are getting something vital. That is why a broadcaster should be adequately informed, knowledgeable, have deep knowledge of things happening around you. When you are preparing a content, you must have adequate knowledge of the topic you are dealing with. Is it because broadcasting rests on excellence? And when you're talking in terms of excellence, it rests on three tripods. Talking about knowledge, your attitude, and skills. And that is why, you see, a lot of people have raw talent and they feel they can go into broadcasting. Yes, they can. But then it now calls for acquisition of proper training, where you acquire the needed knowledge, the needed education, and the skills that you need to actually excel in this profession. Broadcasting is not a profession where you jump into and just do things anyhow, mediocrity. It is not a place for quacks. Every profession has quack, one way or the other. You don't have quackery only in medical profession, for instance. You have it in law, you have it in broadcasting. And that's when you talk about quacks, there are people who have not acquired the proper training. You don't have the skills to do what they are supposed to do. And they just jump into it because they feel they have had people, they have been familiar with people who are doing it. the training that they went through they didn't have. It's just like somebody who had been assisting a medical doctor one way or the other, who has seen the doctor perform one surgery or the other. He didn't go for the proper training. He didn't go to medical school. And he feels he can go and start hospital. We have had such stories before. The same thing is broadcasting. Because if you don't acquire the proper training, you are likely to inform the people wrongly, put in wrong content that can incite, that can cause crisis within the society and all that. So we come back to the public good that we're talking about. So broadcasting is a profession that is saddled with that responsibility of giving the listener proper perspectives of things happening around them by way of informing, educating, and entertaining. I think when we're talking about public good, as far as broadcasting is concerned, that is the main job. That is the main responsibility. But what we have, in fact, when we came into broadcasting, it was like that. What we met was like that.
And that takes me to the next question, and this goes to Mido Lereshitu. Is broadcasting what it used to be in the past?
Of course, the answer is well known. You can as well give the answer. It is not.
Why?
Because in the good old days, when broadcasting was broadcasting, when radio was radio, when television was television, you yourself will be proud to be a broadcaster because people see you as a mirror to the society. Kade Joseph said a few minutes ago that in the past, a radio can never be questioned on anything that is being broadcast. No lies, nothing like that. In the good old days, emphasis was on natural talents, abilities and tendencies, ability to be able to deliver the goods in a particular person that has showed interest in broadcasting. It is after all this must have been satisfied that they now ask you what is your qualification. And that brings me to auditioning. In the good old days, you could not possibly go on air without being auditioned properly. And not only that, after being auditioned, before they can ask you to go on air, whether it is radio or television, you will still have to pass through training, proper training for that matter. Before you could be allowed to go on air to present a program, to act as an announcer, even to be an editor or reporter or newscaster. Not only that, in the good old days when broadcasting started, the behaviors of broadcasters must be able to win the souls of others listening to his or her voice on radio or television.
How do you mean?
Yes. That was the time when broadcasters had to showcase good morals. You could not possibly, because you are popular as a broadcaster, then you get drunk every day. People will be saying, that is the announcer on television. Look at him, he's already drunk like before. All those things that are happening today, there wasn't anything like that. There was better remuneration. There was commitment then. There was proper training and grooming that time. And even our ogas of yesteryears, they were very patient in training these up-and-coming broadcasters then. Not only that, cutthroat competition as we witness today was not there. When we get to a situation whereby we analyze what happens in our modern day broadcasting generally and broadcast stations, you will agree with me that many radio stations are already folding up. because they could not withstand the competition that is going on now. Okay, and yet they must be on here, they must exist, because salaries and wages must be paid.
Okay, now we come to that, and I think that will be more discussed when we're talking about content. But I want to quickly ask before I go for this short break. Kade Joseph, we've been talking about training. It talked about training. What is the training about? What kind of training?
Now let me go back.
You have talent. You said now you need training. What kind of training?
Now let me go back to the point on excellence. Mm-hmm. And I said that excellence stands on 3 tripods. Mm. That is knowledge, attitude, and skill. Mm. Now, somebody with raw talent. You know, it was so easy for our guys in those days to discover talent.
Talent, yes.
The moment they listen to you, they know you are not trained. They used to call us green. They say that green is green. Mm. They know the potential is there. Mm. They will say, oh, it's green, but the potential is there. Mm. That's when they do the audition. Mm. And they now feel, okay, let's see whether we can train this fellow. The train is the knowledge that will be imparted to you. And then the skills that you will acquire. The job has its own ethics and practices. Mm. You are not, you're just like somebody who feels is an MC, for instance. Mm. He has the talent, he's good as an MC. Mm. So he believes he can be a broadcaster. Mm. There is a difference. He doesn't know the ethics and practices of the profession, the code, he doesn't know. Mm. So when he goes for training, he will be given those necessary skills, you know, acquiring the skills.
In those days, there was no regional Nigerian training school. Where does he get the training from?
You know the people who brought the whole idea. Mm. The BBC.
Okay.
You know, they had standard. Mm. And they believed that it was that standard that they had over there that they would bring here. Mm. So those people that were put together that time to be trained were trained by these
trainers,
BBC experts.
Okay.
So having trained those ones, eventually they began the work. Some of them stayed with them for a couple of years, and eventually they that were trained here began to train others who are coming in gradually. And eventually the training school of FRCN also started. So the training is to give you the do's and don'ts, the skills that you require. If you are a producer, for instance, there are certain skills that you must learn. If you are an announcer, there are certain skills you require. I may be an announcer now, and I know my English is good, my Yoruba is good, of whatever language, but then there are certain things I have to learn about pronunciation, for instance. This one is not pronounced this way, this one is pronounced this way, so that when you go on the air, anybody that listens to you, even your grammar will be properly grounded, so that by the time you come on the air and you say something, that's why in those days they would tell us, go and listen to radio, even in school. You learn pronunciation, you learn grammar from all these things. So that training that we are talking about is to make you a well-grounded broadcaster, which you cannot get just anywhere else. You cannot even get it if you go to higher institutions. Yes, you will get the theoretical aspects and all that, but if you are trained by the practitioners, just like the BBC broadcasters came here to train our forefathers in this profession, who are now training those who came after, before we also now join them. I remember when I was in school, there were certain people I used to listen to, Sonny Rabo, Rosalind Ogunro, and many others like that. I have a small transistor under my pillow. I was enjoying listening to them, and I was building myself up. I would take newspaper, I started reading and practicing like them. That's where eventually I got to Radio Kwara, and the moment they saw me, this one has potential. It can be trained.
This one is green.
He's green, but he has potential. Yes, that's it. I remember Mrs. Bisi Kasumo, and my very green announcer. Just like Lyricist said, you cannot put just anybody. You will sit in for so many months, learning from those who have become experts. If Kasumo had somebody who was just sitting on the air, who said, "How dare you put my green announcer on the air to do that kind of a job?" And I was wondering what's the meaning of that. I discovered later that to be green means that you are new, you haven't been trained, you are still crude, but you have the potential. You need to acquire the training. That's the essence of the training, so that by the time you eventually come on the air as a trained person, they know, yeah, this is there.
We'll go for this short break. When we come back, we'll talk about content. Why is content referred to as king in broadcasting?
Maybe your mom will do something and you tell, mommy, you don't know. You can't say that to your mother-in-law because you will get in trouble.
Women are the salt and spice of life. To keep the spice of life alive, Women Matters. Orobiri Season 2. It's here, bigger and better. Catch the show on this station every Thursday by 10 a.m. Let's talk all about women. Women Matters. If it matters to women, it matters to us. Proudly sponsored by FC Wamco, makers of 3 Crowns Milk.
Hey, Oga and Madam, you don't see the room now. Make I show you the toilet where you could share with the other neighbors.
Now the toilet be this.
What's the apple?
Oga agent, you mean say na general toilets clean, come white like this,
Yes, now. Na hypo toilet cleaner than they use to clean and kill the yama jams come out.
Hypo toilet cleaner? Wow.
Wash your toilet at least once a week with Hypo toilet cleaner to keep it sparkling clean and gem free. Available in sachet for 35 naira only. Madam, now 2 years land one collect.
We go pay for 6 years.
Wetin you need na safeguard.
Children that like to dey play.
Them like to dey play.
Small pickins that must jolly oh.
Them like to dey jolly oh.
But remember one thing, protect them with safeguard too. Protect them with safeguard. Protect them with safeguard too. From the teen and yama so the future go better.
Safeguard antibacterial soap. They comot every yama for body. E also dey available for 50-gram size.
Now better winner. Small drop of money fresh gon' make your plate cleaner. Yama, don't remain. With small drop of money fresh was 50% more. And your plate is shine. It is fresh for Naija. Small drop of money fresh was 50%.
People wey sabi know say Morning Fresh dey finish work 50% better pass others. Make you sef join people wey sabi begin use Morning Fresh.
Try Ariel. Now your clothes will be cleaner than they ever be. Ariel is worth it. Well, Ariel is worth it. One wash removes 99.9% germs and eliminates tough stains. Well, Ariel is worth it. Oh, yeah, protect your clothes and your family too. You know how much that's worth to you. Yeah. Ariel is worth it. Well,
Jídé, ara rẹ̀ sì gbóná síbẹ̀. Kí ló dé tí o kò lọ sílé ìwòsàn?
Ilé ìwòsàn kẹ̀. Mo kà lórí Facebook àti WhatsApp pé tí mo bá po.
Ó kí ni? Ooo, ṣé láyé òde òní ló ṣe ń gba ìmọ̀ràn nípa ìlera lórí Facebook àti WhatsApp? Má fèmí rẹ̀ wéwu o. Má ṣe gba ìmọ̀ràn nípa ìlera lọ́wọ́ àwọn tí ó lè ṣe ìwádìí bí wọ́n ṣe dé lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára. Àmọ̀ràn yìí wá láti ọwọ́ Africa Check.
Don't worry, Ma. He'll be home on time, just like his dad.
Are you sure?
Yes, Ma. I'm cooking their favorite jollof with Sonia tomato mix. They are here.
Hey, is that jollof ready?
See? Right on time. Your loved ones will always rush home for tasty meals prepared with Sonia tomato mix.
Mommy, the jollof is yummy.
I wouldn't miss this jollof for anything.
It's so good eating together with a family.
Yes, Ma. All thanks to Sonia. Sonia tomato mix brings you together. Proudly Nigerian.
When malaria wants
show power for your side. It gon' knock you down. I'm a temp salt gel. Me I can tell you no say. Malaria medicine we no get bad taste or bitter taste for mouth. And it dey easy to swallow. Try. I got red game changer. I'm a temp salt gel.
Amatem soft gel now to treat malaria. If body not well after 3 days, see a doctor.
Too much of familiarity with me. I'm going to say, torí mo wà pẹ̀lú ẹni ṣé máa bá mi sọ ṣó lè bá ìjà ẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ nǹkan bẹ́yìn.
àwa obìnrin ni iyọ̀ ayé lójú náà kí adùn yìí lè máa lọ láìlópin ètò yín aládùn ni ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin ó ti gbéra tán lórí ìkànnì yìí ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Thursday ní dédé aago 10:00 òwúrọ̀ kódà lọ́tẹ̀ yìí ó tún máa dùn jù gbọ́ngbọ́n akàn sí ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo wa ni. FC Wamco ilé-iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe mílìkì 3 Crowns Milk ló ń ṣe onígbọ̀wọ́ ètò yìí.
Expressions without words won't have it any other way. Moments will feel joy. Been lost in the moment, the freedom. You will find that's what's celebrating. Bring your moments alive. Find your satisfaction in the nourishing, trending, sparkling. Celebrate a little win, making big differences in the nourishing, trending, sparkling.
Enjoy in red grape, white grape, peach variants. The Letter Sparkling Fruit Drink. Celebrate every moment. Another premium product from Intercontinental Distillers Limited.
Mommy, my teacher said 90% of my brain will develop by the time I am 5.
Really? What else did she say?
She said I need iron in my food for my brain to grow well.
Oh, very true. And that's why I give you Cerelac Junior every day, which provides half of your daily iron needs.
And Cerelac Junior tastes so good.
Cerelac Junior with Iron Plus. It's all good, Mom.
YS Live.
YS Live.
YS Live.
Yeah, welcome back.
We still go back to that training.
Yes.
Somehow.
Yes, we go back to that training because I was coming to content, but let's go back to that training. And then we come to content.
Yes.
You wanted to say something?
Yeah, you were asking what was the training for.
Exactly.
You remember that I said that it was easy for our guys then, our bosses, to recognize somebody with raw talent, who they describe as green, but having potentials. So one of the things they will test is your the microphone voice. They will say, he has good microphone voice. That's the first attraction.
So
when they listen to you,
not all voices are microphone voices.
Not all voices. Not all voices.
So what's the difference? How do you recognize a microphone voice?
The microphone voice, the moment, in fact, without facing the microphone, the moment he speaks, you see the quality of the voice.
How do you know
the voice
that?
has quality.
What kind of quality?
The quality.
Must it be deep? Must it be tiny?
No.
Must it be so? What is it?
It
How does it
doesn't
sound?
have to be deep.
How does it sound?
It could be deep. It could be mid-range. That is what they call mid-range. Like my own too, not so deep as you hear some other people, a very deep voice.
Kayode, please let me come in quickly.
Okay.
You see, we are talking about natural voice. When I listen to some radio stations these days and I hear presenters present their programs, they will never be natural. Why?
Okay.
Because they have some presenters they are looking up to. They are copying them. And so they will not come up with their natural voice. Those presenters wouldn't know that they are undoing themselves. It is always better if somebody talk like he said without even using the microphone. You will know whether he or she has natural voice or not. And so for the trainers, the moment you talk, they can identify your voice, and if your voice needs training, because there's voice training too,
yes.
they will do it. And you'll be proud to be a broadcaster at that time.
You know, in those days, they will not agree that somebody who has a childish voice, baby voice, when you are not talking about children program, for instance, to come and read the news, they will say the voice is not mature yet. And there are people who are adults who have baby voices, like that. They feel that was not suitable. Now, there are also people who could not call certain alphabets, certain vowels, for instance, like people who cannot, for instance, call R.
The people with R and H syndromes.
H syndrome, TH syndrome. There is no matter how you teach them, no matter how you train them, they can never say thought. They will keep saying thought. And there's a difference between thought and taught. Thought is taken from teaching. Thought is taken from thinking or think. Are you getting my point? Now, if somebody wants to say think or thought and he says thought, you are meaning something else. So there are people who can never get it. Not because they don't want to. It's a natural issue. It's a natural problem. But you hear all sorts on the air these days. They will never allow it. There are people who can get over it. People who can overcome such tendencies. Okay, with training, with the voice training that you just said now. Some people, over time, they will get over it. There used to be somebody many years back now who we tried to make her get over that tendency of TH problem and H problem, dropping H, for instance. You want to say hospital, you say hospital, The fellow felt, will I get it? I said, you will get it. I can see that you have the potential. You will get it. Today, she is a great broadcaster, also training others.
Wow.
Do you get my point? So this is the issue of training. We're talking about microphone voice, your diction. For instance, if it is English language, for instance, there is a way you are supposed to sound, to make it clear that this one can be a broadcaster. Your diction is important. Creative expressions, stereotype expressions, all these things are checked. All these things are looked into before somebody is considered to be very adequately prepared. Not just raw talent, not just interest.
Not just passion.
No, wait. When you talk about interest and passion, they are two different things. Somebody can have interest in the job. For instance, somebody can have the talent and he has. There are so many people with talent and interest who are not passionate about the job. Now, the passion in the job, you sleep the job or the profession, you eat it. It's a demanding job. You know how you have been running about to keep your programs going. There are some people who feel, look, I can't be stressed though. Hey, it's not broadcasting. You can't be stressed. What? It's a job of stress. It doesn't care. That job doesn't have relevance to whatever other things that bother you. The moment you are to produce a program, I was having a chat with one of my guys recently, Raji Kola Animation, and he said, look, that job, that time, you could be given just one. In fact, it was not easy for you to produce more than one program in a week because it will entail a lot. You will research, you will go out and gather materials, you will come back, sit down, write your script, do editing, and ensure that everything is perfect. That's talking about excellence again. Nobody wants to take anything from you that is not to standard. The standard is important. They don't want to do anything less than the standard. That's what you say. There is a common saying, you're as good as your last performance on the job. Production, presentation, you are as good as your last performance. If you did well last week and you come today, you mess up, nobody recognizes you. You'll be dealt with very seriously. So that's the whole essence of the training. Somebody who is not trained will just do wishy-washy thing. do it anyhow. There is what is called corridor production, for instance. You want to have guests next week, for instance, and this morning you are just starting to, and you can't get any guests. You just gone to the studio, you grab any of your colleague that you see. Look, come and
talk about this.
Come and talk about it, which is not prepared for. That is corridor production, which our guys will never subscribe to. They won't take it. All these things are happening because these days when you listen to some people, you wonder how many days ago did you realize that you will do this program? What preparation have you made? All these things are the problem.
Larry Chitu, you wanted to add something. Who do you think is a broadcaster from your own perspective?
Well, that reminds me of one definition that was given to us when we were totally green on the job. Say a broadcaster is a broadcast personnel who is somebody that is having a very broad mind, to use the same word, ability to be able to accommodate diverse issues and interests. But what do we see nowadays? When you see a broadcaster on the television screen, you can easily get to know his or her religion. In the past, there wasn't anything like that. It will never be condoned. As a broadcaster, you must have a broad mind. In my days at the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, before I retired, I used to perform as master of ceremony for the Babalawos, even for the Ifa priest, for everybody, to the extent that it was very difficult for anybody listening to me to be able to identify my own religion. That is the meaning of a broadcaster. Today, we don't have broadcasters again.
What do we have?
We have narrowcasters. I'm sorry to say this. We have only few broadcasters, but many narrowcasters. Let me give you an example. On the social media, especially on Facebook, you see a number of people, whether knowledgeable or unknowledgeable, whether trained or untrained, whether literate or illiterate, whatever it is, you see them. My own program is as they go, presenting live from the studio. That is to challenge the present day broadcasters that we are not doing enough at all. It is the perception of the people that are listening to us, that are watching us on television, that whatever mess you are doing, we can do better. Let me create my own personal studio and run my own online radio and see the difference. We have to talk more on content. But I don't want to go more than this because somebody is anchoring this program. You see? Or am I permitted to continue?
No, our content is, of course, our next focus there, our next discussion.
Okay.
Like I said, that we're going to look at content as it should be. What is content? Why is content referred to as king in broadcasting?
Because that's the product that you are dishing out. When we talk about broadcasting, the content is the product that you want to dish out to the people. What you are putting together, the idea, your creativity, the idea you are putting together to dish out to the audience. And that's where the important thing is to know the audience you want to prepare that content for.
Knowing your audience.
Knowing your audience. Is it a program devoted to the children? Is it a program devoted to just women or teenagers? Is it for adults and all that? What is the philosophy of the program? Your content must reflect all these things. What are you packaging? What is the idea that you are pushing out to the people? For instance, today now, your topic is broadcasting yesterday, today,
and tomorrow,
in the future. In the future. That's broad. That's analyzing what broadcasting is. If you look at it from the beginning till now and then projecting into the future. That's the content you are driving at. That's the product, So it must follow ethics of the profession. It must follow the code, the Nigeria Broadcasting Code, for instance, which is which NBC is having the custody, the National Broadcasting Commission. All these things must be carefully taken into consideration. The quality of the product you are dishing out, and the quality will be reflected in the kind of research you have done. Have you done research? Have you? Now, at the beginning of this program now, you are giving us some information on broadcasting. That's your preparation, the research that you have carried out, which is very important. Immediately anybody listening to you will know, you know what you are doing. You are focused. You have done your work about it. Now, these days, you don't find many broadcasters. There is an influx of different sorts of people into broadcasting. People who don't have training, people who don't have the skills. They feel they have talent. They might have talent. And what we discover is that there are even people who don't have the talent. You listen to some people, you wonder, what is this one doing?
What is your business on radio?
Broadcasting. This is not your job. We have had time in the past when some people were told by our guests to their faces, sorry, my brother, sorry, this is not your calling. This is not your area. No, you are not good in this area. And some who insisted that they wanted to just be in broadcasting. Okay, you cannot be on the air. Can we take you to another department? Can you go to admin? Can you go to the technical section? And all these things. And these are very, very key. So I'm talking about content, which is the product that you are packaging, you are dishing out to the people. And it must follow the ethics of the profession. It must be of high standard, of high quality.
Let's do we talk about content from your own angle, if you have any other addition to what Kari Joseph had said after this short break.
Maybe your mom will do something and you tell, mommy, you don't know. You can't say that to your mother-in-law because you will get in trouble.
Women are the salt and spice of life. To keep the spice of life alive, Women Matters. Oro Obìnrin Season 2. It's here, bigger and better. Catch the show on this station every Thursday by 10 a.m. Let's talk all about women. Women Matters. If it matters to women, it matters to us. Proudly sponsored by FC Wamco, makers of 3 Crowns Milk.
Big protein breakfast, àṣírí ibẹ̀ nìyẹn. Bí ìyá mi máa ṣe ń jí láfẹ̀mọ́jú, wọ́n á ṣe oúnjẹ fún wa kí wọ́n tó sáré lọ sí ibi iṣẹ́. Lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà, bàbá wa máa ń ṣiṣẹ́ dalẹ́. Wọ́n sì tún jí lówùúrọ̀ láti gbé mi lọ sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́. Kò wá sí bó ṣe lè di gádígádí tó. Kì í rí wọn láti máa bá mi ṣeré. Ìdí ìrètí wọn kì í kúrò nílé láì jẹ big protein breakfast.
Bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọjọ́ rẹ pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀ tó kún fún pig protein. Amárata kébé.
Pig, rich for your pig.
You get money for account. You won't take small thing inside. Just do cardless withdrawal with any Momo agent. Oga, madam, where is your card? I don't forget them for house. If you do cardless withdrawal with any Momo agent. Anytime you need the money, but your card is there for yonder. Just go do cardless withdrawal with any Momo agent. Cardless withdrawal with Momo agent. With Momo agent, card withdraw with Momo agent. Any Momo agent.
Now you fit withdraw money even if you not hold your card for any Momo agents where they near you. Just dial *223# to take touchlight the Momo agent where they near your domot. Momo agent, safe, fast, no wahala.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Breaks here for Bruno Fernandes. Oh, what a strike!
My guy,
Guy, 100 million naira don land o for people wey sabi to come chop and reach up. For where? Na for Mozart Bet o.
100 million naira. Abeg, how I fit win?
Na to go register for Mozart Bet o. Just go log on to www.mozartbet.ng. I say www.mozzartbet.ng and you go get 100% welcome bonus sharparly for your first deposit. And you too go soon become millionaire be that o. Just continue to charge your winnings with our Mozart Bet 1000% super multi bonus.
Oh boy, no be small things o. Abeg, I don join.
Better day for Mozart Bet o. Just go log on to www.mozzartbet.ng. I say www.mozzartbet.ng. Go register o. Make you hammer. Mozart Bet. Terms and conditions dey sha o.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ojúlówó Nasco cornflakes kún fún èròjà tí ń ṣara lóore tó dára nítorí wípé Old Flaked cornflakes náà ni. Old Flaked cornflakes ní apilẹ̀ṣe ní ìlànà tí gbogbo èròjà ṣara lóore inú rẹ̀ ò fi lè yingin. Oúnjẹ aṣara lóore ni, adùn inú rẹ̀ afẹnuwó, ó sì dára fún gbogbo ẹbí. Nítorí náà, tí àtijẹ cornflakes bá dé, rí i dájú pé Old Flaked Nasco cornflakes ló yàn láàyò. Oúnjẹ aládùn tó dára ní gbogbo ìgbà.
For a healthy family.
Àti kékeré lọmọ mi ti ní ìran láti di ìlú mọ̀ká. Ojúṣe mi sì ni láti ràn lọ́wọ́ kí ìran rẹ̀ wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Ìdí nìyí tí ó di àjẹsára rẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ dúró digbí kó lè gbé àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ títí tẹ́sẹ̀ rẹ̀ yóò fi múlẹ̀.
Ìràwọ̀ òṣèré wa tó kàn ní oníjó ballerino.
Mo ń fún ọmọ mi ní Vita lójoojúmọ́ tó ní iron, zinc àti vitamin C tó sì ran odi àjẹsára rẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ tó tún fún un ní okun láti mú kí ìran rẹ̀ wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Bone Vita, okun láti ní ìran.
Too much familiarity ń gbà mí wá mọ̀ pé yẹn máa sọ pé torí mo wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ní ṣé máa bá mi sọ tó lè bá ìjà ẹ̀ sọ́dún kan bẹ́yìn.
Àwa obìnrin ni iyọ̀ ayé. Lójú náà kí adùn yìí lè máa lọ láìlópin. Ètò yín aládùn ni. Ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin. Ó ti gbéra tán. Lórí ìkànnì yìí ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Thursday ní dédé aago 10:00 òwúrọ̀. Kódà lọ́tẹ̀ yìí ó tún máa dùn jù. Gbọ̀ngbọ̀n akànṣe. Ọ̀rọ̀ obìnrin, ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo wa ni. FC Wamco, ilé-iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe mílìkì 3 Crowns Milk ló ń ṣe onígbọ̀wọ́ ètò yìí.
It is time for celebration. 30 years bustling with goodness. The challenge can never ever stop us. You can't underrate us. You can't underrate. Mountain Guinness, bustling with so much greatness. Mountain Guinness, enjoy our wonder. 30 years of nourishing goodness.
What is this? I thought I asked all of you to drop whatever you have outside here.
I'm sorry, sir. This is Fluco Day. I saw you coughing earlier, so I brought it out for you so you can take it.
Thanks for your kindness, but I'm smarter than that. You think I don't know that every drug that cures cough and catarrh causes drowsiness? So you want me to sleep, Abi?
This is what distinguishes Fluco Day. It does not cause drowsiness.
Nah, drug. I know this drug. It work well.
Let me try it. Manufactured by Harvit.
Marketed and distributed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult your doctor.
Time up. And you, I said what? Flu.
Fluco Day!
Available in pharmacy shops near you.
Expressions without words won't happen any other way. Moments will feel joy. Been lost in the moment, the freedom. You will find that's what's celebrating. Bring your moments alive. Find your satisfaction in the nourishing trend is sparkling. Let's celebrate a little win, making big differences. In the nourishing trend is sparkling.
Enjoy Enjoy in red grape, white grape, peach variants, the Letter Sparkling Fruit Drink. Celebrate every moment. Another premium product from Intercontinental Distillers Limited.
Mommy, my teacher said 90% of my brain will develop by the time I am 5.
Really? What else did she say?
She said I need iron in my food for my brain to grow well.
Oh, very true. And that's why I give you Cerelac Junior every day, which provides half of your daily iron needs.
And Cerelac Junior tastes so good.
Cerelac Junior with Iron Plus. It's all good, Mom.
What do you need na safeguard?
Children that like to play.
Them like to play.
Small pigs that must jolly oh.
Them like to jolly oh.
But remember one thing, protect them with safeguard soap. Protect them with safeguard. Protect them with safeguard soap. From the teen and yama so the future go better.
Safeguard antibacterial soap. They come out every yama for body. It also they available for 50-gram size.
Maybe your mom will do something and you tell her, mommy, you don't know. You can't say that to your mother-in-law because you will get in trouble.
Women are the salt and spice of life. To keep the spice of life alive, Women Matters. Orobiri Season 2. It's here, bigger and better. Catch the show on this station every Thursday by 10 a.m. Let's talk all about women. Women Matters. If it matters to women, it matters to us. Proudly sponsored by FC Wamco, makers of 3 Crowns Milk.
As a question, Lord, talking about content, Leadership too, you wanted to add something.
Oh, thank you, Yemi. Content is the key, as you rightly said the other time, and is the heartbeat of any radio or television station. Kayode said putting up or putting together good ideas. It was actually referring to sellable ideas because not all ideas on radio are sellable. And if you go by the way we facilitate content years back as against what is happening now, you will agree with me that the job was properly done that time. There's something we used to call program planning conference. You may have a raw idea of a program. Of course, when you put it in the form of program proposal, you pass it over to your boss. Your boss pass it over to probably the director of programs for proper scrutiny, assessment, checking and everything before the issue can be raised in the general program planning committee meeting. We call it program planning conference too. So it is when the program proposal is endorsed at that particular high level.
Because there will be a lot of discussions around it. There will be different ideas coming in, questioning and all that.
See the light of the day.
There could be addition and subtraction and all that. Yes.
We don't have things like that.
It's like a laboratory.
Yes. We have a lot of things to correct on our present content on radio and television these days.
Things like what?
Yes, because look at the presenter. Let me start from the newscasters, especially Yoruba newscasters. Of course, newscasting in Yoruba is supposed to be a replica of the news bulletin that has been produced in English language. And according to the rule, the way we were taught, there shouldn't be anything like addition or subtraction or embellishments. When you elongate your translation unnecessarily, mẹ́ta ni mọ́tò náà fọ́nkìtì ìgbà náà ló wá forí ṣanlẹ̀ ó dá pòpòpò bíi pòpòrò yangan. Nonsense. You have not communicated.
Ẹja máa sọ ìtẹ́yìn sọ ní Yorùbá kó lè yé wa dáadáa. Ẹja kúkú máa sọ Yorùbá báyìí.
You see, nǹkan tí mò ń gbìyànjú láti sọ ni pé ṣe rí Yorùbá tá a fún content yẹn tí Káyọ̀dé Joseph tẹnumọ́lẹ̀ kan òun là ń pè ní kò mú òkun ètò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ dálẹ̀ lásán ẹ ti mọ̀ bóyá broadcaster lélẹ́yìí àbí shoutcaster àbí narrowcaster. Ngbà àbárí nǹkan kan di sọ́wọ́ àlàáfíà wípé kò mú òkun ètò rẹ̀ rèé o. Ẹ wo léyìí tí mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan oníròyìn Yorùbá wọ́n fún ọ ní story. One of the stories that makes up the bulletin, the news bulletin, wọ́n wá ní ìjàmbá mọ́tò kan ṣẹlẹ̀ èèyàn bíi 30 ló kú lójú ẹsẹ̀ ó tún wá ń ṣàwàdà àdàmọ̀dì lórí irú ìròyìn bẹ́ẹ̀ ńgbà tó mọ̀ pé ìwọ gan o léjẹ̀ lára ẹlẹ́mìí nìwọ náà.
àwọn míì àti ẹ̀tún máa wá rẹ́rìn.
the way táwọn bàbá wa
wọ́n tún máa rẹ́rìn.
Yẹmí àwọn ọ̀gá wa alálùbáríkà àwọn bíi olóyè Bámijí Òjó wọ́n ní tó bá ń káròyìn lórí irú ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ìbànújẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn wàá jẹ́ kí ohùn rẹ̀ lọ sílẹ̀ pátápátá láti lè fi hàn àwọn tó ń gbọ́rọ̀ yẹn wípé ẹlẹ́mìí bí àwọn tó kú náà èmi náà ń dárò wọn láàyè ara mi. láyé òde òní wọn ò ṣe yẹn mọ́.
kí ló ń ṣe báyìí.
wọ́n máa rẹ́rìn wọ́n máa ṣàwàdà lórí ìròyìn tó báyàn nínú jẹ́ lè bínú kó tó gba àbórí ẹ̀ gbalẹ̀ ni èmi ló ń lá kọmọ lórí afẹ́fẹ́. lóde òní àwọn atọ́kùn ètò lórí rédíò